Hey guys, welcome back to Desperate Oak 48, where as the um title, that's what it's called. As the title has suggested, this is an Infernoid variant deck. What does that mean? It means that I have a surprise in the deck, and you all will see what that is. However, before we get into that, I realize that it's a Wednesday and all my videos go up on Sundays. Some stuff came in the mail earlier than expected. So, if you saw the sealed only challenge, then we didn't get Abyss King Gilgamesh. So we're gonna try again, and we're gonna try for DD Ghost. So, because this came a lot earlier than expected, I might do two sealed only episodes in a row, and then do two deck profiles in a row. Kind of, we'll see what happens with that. Anyways, let us jump into the deck profile, as that's what you all are here for. Okay, so let's just kind of run through the list. Obviously, we got 3 Infernoid Decatron. This is kind of the the card to have in all Infernoid decks. So wonderful, absolutely incredible. Helps you get Infernoids in the graveyard to then special summon them back. Also, in a pinch, if you have Anunko, Devyati, if you have one or the other and another Infernoid, or just any combination of that in your hand, you can normal summon this with Void Imagination, send Anunko or Devyati to the graveyard, and then you can fusion summon out Tierra. So just all around useful for all the reasons. 2 Infernoid Devyati. Again, super useful. This one is spell and trap removal when it is special summoned. And then if a monster, opponent's another monster, just any other monster, declares an attack, you can negate the attack, a quick effect, by tributing a monster, and then you banish the monster whose attack you negated, which is very useful. Next is Infernoid Harmodic. This one is you can target one monster in the field and destroy it. It can't attack the turn you use this effect. Also, can't believe I forgot this. All Infernoids other than Decatron have the effect that they cannot be normal summoned or normal set. They can only be special summoned by banishing Infernoid monsters from your hand or graveyard, while the current level and rank of all effect monsters you have on the field are less than or equal to 8. So rank 4 Xyz monster and level 4 monster equal 8, so you would be able to special summon them, but like a rank 6 Xyz monster and a level 3 effect monster that equals 9, you would not be able to. Let's continue. 2 Infernoid Anunko. There we go. Also just absolutely beautiful card. I'm also gonna real quick move these over here, because as you've probably seen already, the prices for all the cards is over here. Yeah. So useful. When it's special summon, you destroy all other monsters on the field. So not just special summoned, all other monsters on the field. And then when a spell or trap card is activated, you can quick effect tribute one monster to negate the activation and then banish that card. So useful. 2 Petrulia in the main deck. This one is spell and trap removal. Once per turn, during your turn, you can target one spell or trap on the field and destroy it. This card cannot attack the turn activated this effect. Once per turn, you can tribute one monster and banish one card in your opponent's graveyard. Very, very useful. 1 Simas, one of this dude. So this one, banishing Infernoid monsters, special summon. If this card attacks an opponent's monster, you can activate this effect at the end of the battle phase, banish one card on the field. So attack, destroy a monster, banish any one card on the field. I believe that's also non-targeting. Yep, non-targeting banishment, which is awesome. And then once returned, tribute one monster to target one card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. That effect kind of applies to all of them except for Anunko and Devyati. Here we have Infernoid Jet. This one, when it attacks, your opponent banishes one card from their extra deck. Then that is when the attack is declared. Declare an attack, your opponent banishes one monster from the extra deck, and they choose the monster, obviously. And then, of course, you contribute one monster as a quick effect to banish one card in your opponent's graveyard. Very, very useful. Now on to the variant portion of this. Here it is, folks. One Subterror Behemoth Umastrix. Yes, this is a Infernoid Subterror deck. It works a lot better than you might think it would. Yep. This one, when it's flipped face up, can banish a monster, can flip itself face down once per turn. And if your Subterror, when a face up monster you control is flipped face down, and you control no face up monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Kind of, obviously 3 Subterror Fiendus. This card can negate and flip your Subterror monsters face down. So useful. Arguably the most useful card in the Subterror archetype. Next, 3 Subterror Guru. This one is kind of your searcher. Can add any Subterror card from your deck to your hand. This in tandem with Fiendus and the Hidden City and Subterror Final Battle, kind of your if you have all 3 of those at your disposal throughout the duel, that's kind of going to be your biggest point in keeping control of the duel. Of course, with other options and cards thrown in there. Subterror Nemesis Archer. This one just shuffles a face down monster back into the deck when it attacks. And when it is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Subterror from your deck in face up or face down defense position. You can use Guru, flip your opponent's face up monster face down, use Subterror Nemesis, attack into it, shuffle it back into the deck. Absolutely incredible. One for one. This just gets out Decatron. Once I have used it to get out Fiendus, but it just really wasn't worth it, honestly. 1 Subterror Cave Clash. If you already have your Hidden City, Fiendus, Final Battle, and Guru in your hand, use Guru to add this to your hand so that then Guru's effect of flipping monsters becomes a quick effect, which is really nice. 1 Terraforming. This will just add Hidden City to your hand. And also, if you have this in Hidden City in your hand, you can bait out the Ash Blossom with it, which is always nice. 3, the Hidden City. This is, again, like just one of the most useful cards in the Subterror archetype. So play it, add a Subterror to your hand. So if you have a Fiendus in your hand, you can add Guru. If you have Guru in your hand, you can add a Fiendus. And then you can flip a face-down Subterror monster face up on your turn, which would then activate its effect. Then when your opponent attacks while you control a face-down defense position Subterror, you can flip that Subterror monster into face-up attack or defense position and negate the attack. Super incredibly useful. And that will also trigger their effect. But Void Imagination. This is your fusion summoning card. You want this on the field so that you can get into Tierra, which is that's a big one, Chief. That one is very brutal on the field if you can get out at the right moment. 3 Void Vanishment. This searches out your Void Imagination and your Void Feast. It can also discard to send stuff to the graveyard if you need it there. Very useful card. Next, 2 Lost Wind. With all the special summoning that's going on, this one's very useful. Negate their effects, half their original attack, and if your opponent special summons from the extra deck while it's in your graveyard, you can set this card straight from your graveyard, and then you banish it when it leaves the field. So just kind of a lot of disruption when your opponent begins special summoning things. Subterra Final Battle. Obviously, if you are doing any form of Subterra deck and you don't have 2 or, in my case, 3 of these, you're not doing Subterra well. This is your card that flips everything, and sorry about that. I got a little disrupted, but all is good. Anyways, this can flip your monsters face up, your Subterra monsters, face up or face down to either trigger their effects or put them face down for Hidden City to then flip face up for stuff. It can alter their attack and defense. It can prevent effect negation. Like, Subterra Final Battle is amazing for all Subterra decks. 2, there can be only 1. This card, if you end up needing to run a bit more of a Infernoid side of the deck for games 2 and 3, you can side this out for some of the Infernoid monsters in the extra deck or side deck. But it's come in handy more than a few times, especially back when I started testing this out and running with it in like December and January. Salmon Grape and Orcust were still a thing, so flip this up and kind of stop them a bit, but all around super useful card. Lastly, 2 Void Feast. Yeah, this just helps you special summon, put bodies on the board, and also, put bodies in the graveyard, because that's where you can also banish things from, to special summon out your other Infernoids. That is the main deck. Onto the extra deck, which does have 2 yellow card sleeves. Those are extra deck card sleeves from my Pendulum Magician deck, where they usually reside. So 3, Elder Entity Ntis. So useful. You just send it to the graveyard with Tierra to then use its effect to pop a card on the field. If you send all 3, you can pop 3 cards on the field. If you send 2, pop 2. Very useful. You will never actually summon this thing, though. 3 Tierra. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful card. This is the boss monster of Infernoid. The best thing to do is kind of run Guru the whole game. Let your opponent kind of, not really, but like kind of struggle to keep an extra deck monster on the field. And then, there's one duel I had against someone where they had like a Link Karibo on the field and then 1 flipped face down monster. And I had Guru and Umastrix on the field with Fiendus in hand. And dude had no protection, so I dropped Imagination, got out Tierra, and cleared his board, and then kind of swung for a massive amount of game. So useful, absolutely incredible. I don't need to say more. 1 Tornado Dragon. It's Tornado Dragon. There's a lot of level 4s in here. So, it's just kind of more spell and trap removal. Link Karibo and Salamangreat Almirage. Don't have them in the deck yet, but we will do Link Karibo first with the prices. There it is. Salamangreat Almirage with the prices. Wait a second. There it is. Sorry for the cut again. Nightmare Cerberus. With Fusion Synchro and Xyz monsters not having to go to the main monster zone. I feel like this is going to be a bit more useful in bouncing them. It bounces back. Oh no, it's Destruction, yeah. This is going to be a bit more useful. If your opponent's able to get out something without a protection in the main monster zone, you're able to drop this and kind of eat it back. If not, you can get out Tierra, and if you only need to send 2 Ntis, you can also just send this along with it. I feel like it's going to be more useful moving into Master Roll 5. Nightmare Phoenix. Also significantly more useful. It's back row removal and field spell removal, but mostly back row removal. Drop this, discard, remove. All around incredibly useful card. There is a Subterror Behemoth Fiendus. This one ends up most of the time just being fodder for Tierra if I don't need to send 3 Intis. Borolo Dragon, the ugly art in my opinion. It's Borolo Dragon. This thing has been around for a while now. We all know why it's here. It's good. Price is over here. Sorry for the jump again. When I grabbed the Nightmares, I forgot to grab this, which is Boral Sword Dragon, which is again just a free, not really a free, but almost an OTK. A lot of fun, Boral Sword Dragon. And lastly, Saryuja Skull Dread. It's just Tierra fodder. I can't name a time I've actually used this, but it looks cool. And it's extra Tierra fodder, honestly. Now we will cut to a rundown of how to best budget the deck. So it just occurred to me, because I didn't stop the recording. I was just actually going to record everything all the way through, and then in editing, cut everything together. I didn't do the side deck, which was obviously shown in the first couple seconds of the video. So how about I show off the side deck? So when I said that the prices are going to be over here, I lied. They will not be over here. Over here we'll say something like "you're an idiot," which is directed at me, not you. 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This one's weird, with a lot of adding to the deck, draw power and stuff. This is a lot of fun to drop on people who just played a Pot of Desires, because they just banish 10 and then don't get the plus off of it, which is always amazing. But then this can also kind of shut down Alistair the Invoker and Shaddoll Fusion, so a good card. Infernoid, a Tondel. This one is fun because when it destroys a monster by battle and is sent to the graveyard, it can make another attack in a row. And then, of course, tribute a monster, target a card in your opponent's graveyard, banish it as a quick effect. Infernoid Harmadic. We already ran over that in the main deck, so price is over here. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Pay 1,000, banish a spell or trap on the field. I would not suggest this for game 3, because if you pay 1,000 to banish something, you might lose in time, but very useful. 2 Dark Ruler No More. This has gotten me out of some sticky situations. Drop this on a big board. If it doesn't get negated, then you can pull through fairly easily, especially if you're able to drop this, get it off, and then drop a Imagination to almost completely wipe their board. A lot of fun. Good combo there. 3 Twin Twisters, just spell and trap removal. Very fun to use against pendulums. 3 Dimensional Barrier. I have this in here because with Master 05, if you game 1 find out your opponent is running Zodiac, you can side this in, choose Xyz, and if they aren't able to negate it, then you kind of effectively stop them a bit. If you find out they're doing Turbo Synchro or Invoked or anything, you are able to kind of like drop this and be like, how about you don't do that instead? So now that is the entire deck. Prices for Amazon, how much the entire deck will cost for Amazon will be here. TCG Player over here. Now we will cut to the what was I talking about? The budget stuff. Okay, so we are back with the budgeting of the deck. So, of course, we had the Amazon and the TCG Player results, which I will quickly throw up in kind of like the sidebar over here. That's just kind of what I'll use. So If you, of course, you can. Of course, I am not sponsored at all by Amazon or TCG Player. I have no deals with either whatsoever. Um, I just kind of use them as they are, in my opinion, the two most popular places to buy singles from. Um, I have no deals, no sponsorships, nothing coming from them. Um, anyways, sorry, kind of blanked out there for a second. However, if you want to cross between TCG Player and Amazon and buy everything on the list, but the cheapest version of each from the list, the total will come out to, and this is just for your knowledge, like if you want to build this deck and if you want to build it as inexpensively as possible, this is why I'm giving you all this information. This is because just to reiterate what I said 5 fucking seconds ago. If you want to build this deck, because it is a lot of fun and it can be very powerful if you know what you're doing and you know the matchups you're up against. It's a powerful deck. It's a fun deck to play, and it's not so controlled that your opponent doesn't have fun playing against it. But it's also not so like aggro that as soon as your board gets as soon as your opening board gets shut down, you just don't have anything to do. If you want to buy all the cards for this deck and mix and match of Amazon and TCG Player, the least expensive this deck will come down to $189.29, which is going to pop up over there. If you want to build this but take out the side deck, for Amazon, these numbers will flash up on the screen: $175.98, and then for TCG Player, $164.88. Not too bad. Also doesn't take off a whole lot. However, if you want to build the absolute bare bones of the deck, that is just the main deck as it is, and just Ntis and Tierra, just those 46 cards. That comes out to, for Amazon, $140.81, and for TCG Player, it comes out to $128.64. Again, I'm giving you these prices so that if you all going into this had decided, hey, I really want to build this, but are a bit more budget, this is to kind of like let you know, so that before you start buying cards, you don't like buy some of them and then realize I can't build the rest of this, and then you're just kind of like sitting there with like two Harmodix and like a terraforming. Like, what are you going to do in that situation? But for a bit more budget options, you can take out, you can definitely replace a Decatron with a There Can Be Only One or a Lost Wind or another Void Feast if you want. That'll knock a good amount off. If you're building the like bare bones 46 card deck, you can definitely take out one Tierra and replace a Decatron with something else, which will further knock stuff off. Nothing is better than being online in chat with someone as they're like, oh, cool, you're going to, Guru Control, I'm not going to play Yu-Gi-Oh! This game. And then you just drop a Tierra on them, and they're like, hey, what the fuck is that? I'm like, it is Infernoid Tierra. Next question, sir. I am Desperate Oak 48. This is the Infernoid Subterror deck profile. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry that this is coming out on a Wednesday. Again, please let me know if y'all want to do 2 built from nothing and then 2 deck profiles, or just stick to the regular schedule down in the comments. That is all I have to say. Thank you for tuning in. If you've watched all the way, thank you very much for watching. Check out the channels in the description. They're all friends of mine. They all make amazing content. And I guess like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all next time.